Morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you're viewing this. My name is Mike. I am the Crypto Liberal. Thanks for joining me again today. Hey, do me a favor. If you find anything in this video worth your while, give me a like, give me a subscribe, hit that bell notification. So today was a wild day in Bitcoin, right? When we were after yesterday's, rally, small rally. That's what qualifies as a rally these days. Bitcoin, went right back down to where it started yesterday before the rally, and then rallied back up. So it was kind of a wild day for some volatility back in the markets a little bit today. Um, but we're kind of finishing flat for the day, pretty much. It seems like. So again, my inclination is still that we're heading down a little bit lower, but maybe that W still plays out. So we'll talk about that. So if you appreciate that, give me a like, give me a subscribe. Excuse me. But let's start with the stock market, right? Today was a kind of a crazy day in the stock market. It was down pretty healthy to start the day, and it rallied pretty much throughout the day. But the big thing, right, is the DXY. The DXY is at a record level. I mean, record for like the last 2 decades. I mean, it hasn't been this high for, I think, over 20 years. And really, I mean, the last time it was this high, it went up to 120 before it sank back down and went below these levels and never recovered. It's never been back at these levels since the last time it went up to about 120. So could we see 120 on the DXY? That'd be crazy, and that would not portend very well for crypto and the stock market. Even though the stock market kind of rallied today with the DXY just going crazy. So, keep an eye on the DXY again here in a few hours when futures open up and see if it continues to rally, because if it does, excuse me, I think crypto and the stock market are only in at risk of going lower. So let's talk about Bitcoin. Um, you know, we I've been talking about a few things, right? Again, I'm not going to be excited about Bitcoin unless one of two things happens. We get back above this support line, this red line right here, get back above it, hold it, maybe even come back and back test it as support. Or we come down to these levels, down here on the $10,000 level, whether that's just a big wick down or we go down there and test it multiple times and skirt along it for a while. Either one of those situations is when I'll probably start scaling back into Bitcoin, because if you're following my channel, I'm pretty much scaled out of Bitcoin at this point, and put it into alts. But the other thing is for a week or so now, I've been kind of talking about this potential W pattern on Bitcoin, and it's still viable, but I don't know how much bang we're gonna get for that buck, but this W pattern could play out, and if it does, I kind of foresee it maybe not getting past this. I mean, the first thing we'd have to do is get past the peak of that first hump, which is around 21.4, and then I don't see it getting past this blue line, which is at 22.5, and then for sure not past this red line, which right now is about 25.6. So there's so many resistance levels above us for Bitcoin that I really don't see us going very far, and which is why I think my inclination is that we go down lower first for Bitcoin, and how that plays out in the alts that I've moved entirely pretty much into. Right as of right now, I still think alt season is coming. Alt season's around the corner. Today, Bitcoin had a better day than everything else, which has been rare, right? Ever since we've been moving into alts have been outperforming Bitcoin completely. And as I told you, these are long-term plays that I'm making. These aren't plays that I'm making for a week or a month, even, or even 3 months. They're like 6 months, 12 months, 18-month plays. So there's gonna be days where Bitcoin outperforms the alts, but so far, right, we're killing it on our plays. So on our trades. So I'm not worried about one day where Bitcoin is outperforming. So you can see right here, right, Bitcoin is green, slightly green. ADA is down by 2.5%, and ETH is down by 0.5%. So Bitcoin is shining today comparatively to our other trades. But how long that holds out, I don't know, because maybe this W plays out. You have to see how the daily closes today. Right now it's green, but barely, right? It's pretty much flat. And I really don't think we get past this blue line. Even if we have a small little rally, I mean, honestly, I don't think we get past 21.5 here, right? This first, the peak of this first hump, back here on June 25th, right? June 25th, June 26th. I really don't think we're going to get past the 21.4, 21.5 level. So I think what's going to end up happening is it's going to, this W is going to probably turn into an M, and we're going to go back down. Now, I could be totally wrong. This is not financial advice. I could be totally, completely 100% wrong. Just kind of the feeling I get right now. I don't think we're just going to go down to 17.5, test it once and be done with it, or bounce off of it and be done with it. I think we at least have to revisit that level. I think we have to at least test it as support, see if it's going to hold. If it doesn't, lower, right? 15, 14, 13. Maybe we wick down to that $10,000 level, that lower red support line. We'll see. We'll talk about it on this channel wherever we go, whether it's up or down. So give me a like, give me a subscribe if you appreciate that. So let's talk about, ADA. ADA's struggling today, comparatively. Oh, but before we do that, I wanted to talk about, when ADA is struggling on it's one day it's struggling against Bitcoin. I mean, it's been performing so well against Bitcoin, ever since I brought it to this channel. I mean, it was up 20 some percent, right? And maybe we're down to about 19% versus Bitcoin since we moved into it. But I wanted to talk about why I'm so bullish on Bitcoin or on ADA. This is just one example, right? So according to an infographic shared by the Cardano Foundation, a nonprofit organization dedicated to the development of Cardano, the project recorded fair growth across various aspects in the month of June. The month of June, right? The month of June was horrible across crypto. I mean, it was one of the worst months since I've been invested in crypto. It was just complete horse crap, right? It was horrible. But Cardano is setting all kinds of records for transactions and projects being built, and that's without the Vassal hard fork even being implemented in June. It's coming in July, and that's just going to increase, the scalability and performance and projects that are being built on Cardano. So let's continue with the article because it is so bullish in just a terrible month. What happened in June? So the infographics showed the performance of Cardano across various segments, including transactions, native tokens, wallets, ADA staked, as well as developer activity. Santiment reported that the development activity of Cardano was the highest ever in June. According to the Cardano Foundation, high development activity indicates the project is serious about its business proposition. The project will likely ship new features in the future, and it's less likely that the project is just an exit scam. So in the month of June, saw Cardano's on-chain transactions surge 5.44% to reach 44.8 million, thus surpassing May's record of 42.5 million on-chain transactions in the month of June. Just the crappiest month in crypto ever, right? Cardano set a record for on-chain transactions. And then the article goes on to say, interestingly, the development shows Cardano's on-chain transactions have been growing steadily since the beginning of the year, which suggests rising interest in crypto. Rising interest in crypto, right? There's rising interest in Cardano. There's not rising interest in crypto. There's never been less interest in crypto. I mean, I bet you if you went and searched the Google search terms and saw how many people were searching crypto or Bitcoin, it's probably near all-time lows. There's not rising interest in crypto. There's rising interest in Cardano. I've never been more bullish, right? So let's continue with that article. Last month, Cardano ranked first among the top 10 cryptocurrency projects in terms of on-chain transaction volume. Cardano's transaction volume skyrocketed by 369% at the time, surpassing top cryptocurrency projects like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and Ripple, among others. Meanwhile, the number of cryptocurrency wallets holding ADA throughout the month of June rose to 3.42 million, representing a 1.81% increase from May's record. Similarly, Cardano's native assets soared 6.46% to hit 5.4 million in June. Another significant feat recorded last month in the growth of developers activity, which saw a total of 13,303 comments across all Cardano GitHub repositories. The surge in Cardano's GitHub comments may not come as a shock to many, considering that Cardano developers are always looking for ways to bolster the network's performance. So how's that, right? Cardano is setting records left and right in the worst month of crypto's, I mean, in my history in crypto, right? I mean, that month sucked. You know what, right? It sucked. But Cardano is just setting records left and right, and that's without the implementation of Vassal yet. So, when Vassal launches, it's on testnet now. From all indications, it's working swimmingly, right? So I think in the next 3 weeks it launches, and then Cardano is going to take off, in my opinion, right? So let's look at Cardano. Today's struggled, right? So again, we look at the Cardano BTC chart, and we look at it on Coinbase, and I like the weekly chart, right? The weekly long-term play, long-term trade. And again, we got in here. I brought it to the channel 3-4 weeks ago now at, when one Cardano is 0.000019 Bitcoin, and we're still at 0.00002256 Bitcoin. So, we're still up, probably almost 20%, almost 20%. I haven't figured it out. Yesterday it was at 24, 23, 24, 25%, losing a little steam today. One day, right? We haven't even come close to giving back the size of this green candle that we had 3 weeks ago. And, I brought it to the channel at the very bottom, right? The bottom of this candle. I said Cardano's about to take off against Bitcoin, and it did. And we had the giant green candle, and now we're having some moments to reflect. It's not just going to go steaming up to new all-time highs, right? But again, it's a long-term trade, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. And again, I'm waiting to turn, 1 Bitcoin into 3 Bitcoin, 2 Bitcoin into 6 Bitcoin, because I'm waiting for that 0.000019 to turn to 0.00006, the top of that descending wedge, right? The top of this descending wedge, which goes all the way back up here. I mean, that's all. It's a long-term play. It took 10 months for it to get down there. It's going to take that long for it to get back up there and surpass it potentially. So, no, I'm not worried about Cardano having one bad day, right? We're going to be good. We're going to be good. So let's look at ETH. ETH is holding its own, right? ETH has been doing great this week against Bitcoin. Again, I look at the ETH BTC chart. Look at it. It's a green week. We're holding this support line. Again, I told you about this at the exact bottom. When we hit the support line, I didn't tell you about it 3 weeks prior to that when it was early. I didn't tell you about it now because we've already made about 10% profit on it, right? We've already made about 10% profit. Without putting new money in, without trading on leverage, we're making a 20% profit on ADA versus Bitcoin. We're making a 10% profit on ETH versus Bitcoin. Without trading on leverage, without risking my your whole portfolio, from being liquidated, right? So, yeah, they're struggling today against Bitcoin, but I'm not worried, right? We're still, as long as we're still maintaining this support line, and we are. And in fact, we're having a green week, and just 2 days into the week, it's a green week. So we're golden on Ethereum versus Bitcoin. It's good. It's good. So I'm not worried about it. And now the last one, right? The one I just went into yesterday. Yesterday I was saying it was 3 for 3. I jinxed myself, right? So Polkadot versus Bitcoin. And, I told you last week when we tested that resistance line, this red resistance line, which served as resistance in the descending channel, and we tested as support last week and bounced off of it. Well, now we're testing it again. So we're losing a little bit on DOT, but I'm not worried as long as we maintain that line as support and don't fall back into the pattern, back into the middle of this pattern. I'm not worried. If we fall back into the middle of that pattern, maybe maybe I move back into Bitcoin with those. I take a little loss, but again, that's my smallest position by far. I was open with that yesterday or 2 days ago when I was moving in. I told you that's going to be my by far my smallest position when compared to ADA and ETH. So if I lose on it a little bit, that's fine. I wasn't that as bullish on that chart as I was on Bitcoin and Ethereum. I mean, ADA on Ethereum. So, but I'm still confident. I'm still confident. So we're 2 of 3 right now, 2 of 3, but it's still early. Again, it's not a short-term play. I'm not playing this for next week, next month. I knew that going in. So as long as that support holds, I'm okay. I'm okay. So, let's just take one more gander at Bitcoin. Bitcoin versus USD, and look at the Coinbase chart, and we look at the daily. What did I do? What did I do? How did I screw this up? BTC, USD, Coinbase, and then again the daily. Okay, so the W could play out. But I'm still thinking that we're gonna go down lower. Now I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Not financial advice. None of this is financial advice. And if we go up, I still think the alts are going to perform better. If we go down, I still think the alts are going to perform better. So what does that mean to you? It means to me alt season. And again, it's not an alt season that's going to play out next week, next month, even 3 months from now. It's something I think is going to play out over the next 6 months, 12 months. So if you appreciate that, right, give me a like, give me a subscribe. Not much new today. I wanted to talk about those bullish numbers for Cardano. Cardano is looking so bullish. It looked bullish in June, the worst month in crypto since I've been around here. And Vassal isn't even out yet. When Vassal launches in a couple weeks, Cardano is going to fly, in my opinion, not financial advice. So that's it. That's all I have today. I hope you're having a great day. This video is going to be a little shorter, but that's okay. Not much has changed, right? Bitcoin's flat, the alts are losing a little bit of ground versus Bitcoin, so it's kind of a boring day for me. But that's okay. Yeah, you gotta have boring days to make the exciting days even better. So that's it. Hope you're having a great day. My name is Mike. I'm the Crypto Liberal. We'll talk more tomorrow. Good night.